What's up, Pony Boy?
Look at you, stay gold. It's funny you say that because, I just learned the other day, S.E. Hinton is a huge fan of this
Of the
thing that you and I have been doing. Fast Money as well, but she's embraced the Tim and Guy commercial break. It's incredible.
That's interesting because since we did our special on Leaf, not Leif Garrett, he's joined in, and I know Emilio Estevez is constantly kind of tweeting back and forth. So pretty soon we're going to have the entire cast of The Outsiders listening to our stories. And Stay Gold is probably the right topic for today, as gold is breaking out, and it looks like we're going to take out that all-time high. And the great irony here is the Robert Frost poem in which Pony Boy was reciting to his pal Johnny, aka the Karate Kid, was effectively nothing good stays gold.
Right.
And yet everything that is good is gold right now. And that means gold is seemingly the panacea for almost every hedge you could want in this market. Inflation, deflation, liquidity, central banks, fiat currencies. And it seems to be no stopping it.
So you see that I've been raising my hand, hoping you'd pick on me. Clearly,
please,
you just.
I'm sorry, Guy. Well, sometimes the
you,
teacher
right.
needs to get what up in his mind.
I put my hand up, by the way, so go back about 35 seconds and you mentioned one of those actors. I'd like you to say his correct name again.
That would be Leif Garrett, like Leif Erikson.
After Leif Garrett, you mentioned.
Oh, I'm sorry. Emilio Estevez.
Thank you. It's Estevez. You pronounce it. It's not unlike Miguel Andujar. Okay, so just let's make sure it's important.
No, you've
okay?
always had the inflection there, and obviously there's a Rosetta Stone under your pillow, my man. So keep going. Talk. Why is gold?
Anyhow,
why shouldn't gold go to 3,000?
I think that's actually is where it's going. I'm surprised it hasn't rallied more than it has over the last month or so, but it is rallying. You have this stealth rally that all of a sudden people are starting to pick up on. Newmont Mining back above $61 after trading down, I think, 54 or so a couple of weeks ago. Pan American Silver, name we've talked about for a long time, absolutely breaking out to the upside. And we mentioned last night briefly that although it has silver in its name, I think 65% of their revenues come from the gold business. So there's a lot of reasons to be bullish here, and I continue to be. It feels frothy, no question. Everybody's now talking about it, which gives me some pause. But you know what? Sometimes everybody can be right.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this gold rally, though, has been a frustrating one for the bulls. In other words, all this stuff has lined up for months, and gold hasn't always necessarily shot to the moon. It's up about 8% in the last 25 sessions, which is a big breakout for gold, because we're not talking about biotech stock. We're talking about gold. But when we got into the teeth of the crisis, and that began to bring really just margin calls. So gold actually suffered like every asset that got sold at one point. But when the veracity of the selling is over, then you start to see gold find its legs again. And so I believe 1920-ish is the high set back in September 11th, which was when we really were digesting what seemed, in hindsight, it's minor league central bank action, but at the time, unprecedented central bank liquidity. And now the liquidity that we have coming from every central bank and negative interest rates and backstopping corporate debt, gold has every reason to head higher, and I think it will. I think we're going to take out that 1920 before the end of the summer, because I think the combination of what the Fed continues to jawbone and where, I mean, look at every other measure of liquidity in this market, and it's going higher.
Yeah, and there's also been a lot of central bank hoarding of the actual metal. And, quickly going back, a couple of weeks ago when the market was cratering, we talked about gold. Now on the show, you actually said that the sell-off you saw in the metal wasn't surprising, that you'd seen this before. Gold suffering on big market down days for the reasons you just cited, and that typically lasted a day or two and then provided opportunity. That was spot on. It also gets me thinking, my head is constantly somewhere in the 1970s, 80s, but some great
course.
songs out there have
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
word gold in it. I have a few in my mind. Maybe you want to wrap, or if you want me
Well-
to start so you can think about it. I don't want to tee you
Yeah,
up
you
like
have to
that.
give me you keep going and I'll get there.
So obviously Neil Young of Canada, oddly enough, because Canada is one of the great gold producing nations in the world. After the gold rush and Heart of Gold, Neil Young.
Wow,
of
listen
course,
to you.
Gold Dust Woman by Fleetwood Mac, clearly.
Wow, you're running the table here. This isn't fair. Give me the band that Neil Young was a part of with at least really one, maybe two other large rock and roll luminaries before he went out on his own.
Was he a member of the Byrds at one point, or is
Well,
that
you're
incorrect?
you're close. He was a member of Buffalo Springfield,
Buffalo,
which was
yeah.
which was another one. It was essentially a brother band to the Byrds, and obviously David Crosby and Stephen
Can Linda
Stills.
Snow make a quick cameo on our thing, because she just
It's
started
about
a
time,
new-
Linda. Where you been?
Want to come in and say hi on our show real quick?
Where you been?
Wait, we're not on TV, are we?
We're gonna
Nah,
be.
this is
We're gonna be
nowhere.
Linda. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is my wife, Linda Snow. Linda Snow,
Hi,
everybody.
everybody. Nice
Linda,
to
how do
see
you?
Tim?
It's wonderful to see you too. This is long overdue. Can you give me rock and roll tunes with gold in the title? You can't take any of the Neil Young songs that you just heard your husband. I'll give you a couple. Do you need some help?
Tim.
Hi,
The
Tim.
only thing I know is Gold Rush. And you assume I listen to anything my husband says,
Well,
so I did not hear anything.
So the obvious choice for Linda Snow would be Sister Golden Hair, obviously.
Sister Golden Hair by America.
By America.
Tremendous song. How about if I said David Bowie? Would there be a gold song that came to mind?
Perhaps, although I'm not a big Bowie guy, as you probably know.
Golden years.
Golden
Go,
Years.
wop, wop, wop. Do,
Of course,
bop.
Sting also had a song, Fields
Fields
of
of
Gold.
Gold.
If you
Fields
recall.
of Gold. Fields of
I-
Gold. And,
I
and
have no music
Linda's not.
quality. No, I really, it's all Linda lyrics to me.
So anyway,
I gotta fluff my pillows.
so that was Linda Snow, by the way. Sorry about that.
so,
anyway.
Guy, when you're looking to give, I'm going to backtrack on this. I was about to get myself in trouble, and here I'm about. When you're willing to give the Linda the night off from cooking dinner, do you take everybody to the Golden Arches?
Well,
so there
we talked,
you know.
and quickly, I know we're running low on time, but last night I mentioned a walk-up window that I called the drive-through walk-up window at McDonald's, and one exists on, I
Right.
believe, 9th Avenue. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's 8th Avenue in New York City. Patting myself down because I'm sweating. And I had ordered 23 cheeseburgers from the walk-up window with my friend Tony Grasso. You made a Tony Soprano crack. His actual name is Tony Grasso.
Forget about it. Why did you have the munchies? Do we want to?
We went to see Stevie Ray Vaughan at some venue
course you did.
in the city.
Of course you
we
did.
It was an amazing show, and we just decided that we needed. But I will tell you, and I know we have to leave after this. The aftermath was difficult.
Well, look, as Pony and Johnny waxed on, keep chasing those sunsets, bro. I think you need to.
Stay gold, Tim.